So we have to wrap because I was able today to talk to, this is another story, the K-pop Demon Hunters. It is blowing up on Netflix.
Blowing up everywhere.
I was able to talk to the directors today of this movie. It is the #1 movie on Netflix right now. Let's go to that interview real quick. Great. Maggie and Chris, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm going to start with you, Maggie. Obviously, you wrote this, you created this, you directed this fantastic movie. Tell me just about where the idea came from.
I'm Korean. I've worked in animation for a really long time. And at the time when this was created, it was over 10 years, and I'd always wanted to see an animated film showcasing Korean culture, and I hadn't seen one. I really wanted to work on something like that, and because there wasn't one, I thought, well, why don't I create one? So yeah, that's kind of where it started. I was drawn to Korean demons, and that just naturally led to Demon Hunters, and the K-pop element was really added at the very last, as the last ingredient, and it kind of changed everything. It made it a musical, gave it spectacle, and I really think that it's the thing that sold the movie.
Yeah, I would say I just went to a sing-along with my son, and they had it here at one of the movie theaters in town, and it was packed. Every single showing was sold out, and kids, adults, everybody was singing along. So, I mean, yeah, that K-pop element, it really was just a fantastic element of the movie. But, kudos to you guys, because it was a lot of fun, and, definitely gave families, something to do, but it was just so much fun. It brought so many people together. Chris, just from start to finish, like, how long did this take to get it from, kind of the concept, and then all of a sudden it is finally out on Netflix?
Maggie's original concept was 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I joined about 5.5 years ago. And so, which is actually not an unusually long time for an original. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like that's a long time, but every year of that is packed with first screenwriting, then storyboarding, then animation, then lighting. So it's a very dense 7 years. Yeah.
Was there ever a time where you had this idea, Maggie, and you're going through all of this? Was there a time, though, and I don't know, where you had pitched this, or maybe you had talked to some other, someone other than Netflix, where they said, I'm sorry, this is crazy, this is not going to work?
No. Luckily, being a first-time director and first time really pitching a movie, I shared it with a producer who was at Sony, and it's a friend of both Chris and I, and he and Sony were looking for a project that was more internationally focused, and so he asked me if I had any ideas, and I said yes, even though I didn't have anything, and so that night, my partner and I were, we thought about some ideas like we do, and came up with this and pitched it to him the next day, and
wow.
He loved it and wanted to do that. But it sounds very simple, but it was after building a relationship with him for 12, 13 years, and he was already seeing me as a director and wanting to work with me and finding a project. And so it was kind of easy, but took a long time to get there.
Yeah. Have you guys seen some of the things on Instagram, like some of these videos where a dad is going, like, kind of peering over and seeing like okay, what the heck is this, like, WTF, this video and this movie, and then all of a sudden they are like all in, they're blasting the soundtrack. And I mean, how does that make you feel, seeing videos like this, and they're all around the world, frankly?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah.
And so much what the movie is about is sort of the power of music as something that connects us and, transcends a lot of our pre-existing boundaries we think exist between ages and countries. And so to see it in action, especially when you conceive the movie and work on it to try and tell that story, is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, Netflix's most watched original film ever. The success is unbelievable. Before you guys go, can you just talk about, I mean, I've read that a sequel in the works, Maggie, and a possible live action remake. So, I mean, this is not going to be the end of the road, clearly.
All of that is speculation. It's not official word from Netflix. So there's nothing really to speak on currently, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure there will be a lot of Halloween costumes to look forward to look at. And thank you, Maggie and Chris, for your time. I really appreciate it. But congratulations on all the success.
That was cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
Well,
no.
You need to see it. And it has a great message. And I do think that when you first read about it, K-pop Demon Hunters, I was in that same boat, completely in the same boat. I watched it with my son. Everyone in his school is obsessed with this thing.
It's all anyone's talking about. And I've heard so much.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it. Watch it with your kids. It has a great message. The soundtrack, you will blare the soundtrack in your car once you start hearing some of these songs. And I'm totally guilty of it.